النداء الأخير رحلة رقم 098 والمتوجهة إلى ميلانو.
Final call for Emirates flight 0982 Milan Malpensa.
Bad luck to talk on these rides. Mine on the road, your dilated eyes. Watch the clouds float, white Ferrari. Had a good time.
Just got off a 14-hour flight from Australia, landed in Dubai, jumped in an Uber, heading to my hotel. I'm very tired, but very excited.
14 hours is a long time. Didn't really sleep. Can you manage to sleep on flights? I can't seem to sleep, but the adrenaline of arriving in a new place is always a good substitute for sleep. We can see Dubai coming up just in front here. I'm so excited to explore it.
I'm sure we're taller in another dimension. You say we're small and not worth the mention.
Dubai is my starting point for an epic road trip through Iran and Turkey. This region was part of an ancient route. I will begin in the Emirates, what was once Bedouin desert lands of the Arabian Peninsula, cross the Persian Gulf and travel up through abandoned stretches of the original Silk Road, what was once the great Persian and Ottoman empires. From Arabian opulence to sharing goat's cheese with shepherds in the north of Iran, to Istanbul, the gateway to Europe at the Bosphorus, this trip took a lot of organization. Parts of the journey I traveled alone. Parts I was accompanied by an Italian physicist with a flagrant disregard for speed limits. One day he woke up and wondered, what happens to the luxury vehicles that are abandoned in the UAE at the airport by people who go bankrupt? The government apparently takes possession of them and sells them for incredibly low rates. The catch being, no one is crazy enough to go through all the paperwork and drive one back into Europe. No one, that is, except for us. This car would cause us more problems than we could imagine, but the mechanic Tony in Dubai was so excited that anyone would attempt such a trip that he generously sent videos to me in Australia and the physicist back in Europe explaining how to deal with random Porsche mechanical failures in the most remote parts of Iran.
What we're putting under here, just so you know, these two are extra hoses for the radiator. God forbid you ever need to use them. This is a coil. If the car ever starts like vibrating or anything, 3 cans that I got, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie them down somehow. This is what a gift from me, basically, that I think will be useful, especially that is, she films and stuff. This thing from full can probably charge your phone for about 5 days. No joke. It's super, like it can save your life, this thing. Last part of the toys. You open it up. It looks like nothing, but it's everything.
But before embarking on that part of the adventure, I had set up work to shoot a short film with a luxury hotel in Dubai. Jumping straight off a plane with jet lag from Australia and attempting to do the work of an entire production company alone on such a tight deadline was almost impossible. The only way to make it work and deliver what the client wanted was if I didn't sleep more than 2 hours a night.
Final look, final scene. Hopefully I will be finished filming before midnight. Actually, no, that's not going to happen.
Okay, so I shot it, but it's not exactly what I want. I think, yeah, I'm going to reshoot. I'm going to reshoot because if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well, right?
I woke up with a hard drive pressed against my cheek. I was going through footage and then I think I just passed out.
But as always, what energizes me is being surrounded by cinematic details, and this Arabian oasis had that in abundance.
up at 4 this morning. It's very, very early, and you can hear the call to prayer, and it's completely dark, but I'm excited. What do you feel when you're in the desert? When you're, like, personally? I mean, aside from the work and your job, you know, you personally.
You know what, you feel like, I feel free. I feel like I'm in an environment which I can just go, wow. But there's so much to see, you know, it's vast, it's open, it's just sand and dunes, and yes, there's a lot of life, like shrubs and things. But I feel blessed actually in a way to be here, you know, to see that there is so many things that you can learn from the desert, which the desert can give back to you, and in return you can give back just to conserve it. And that's the best part of it. That's what I feel.
You kind of need to remind them that, hey, nature is out there, guys, because, you know, often, like, living in a lot of big cities, you really don't have that.
No, you don't have that. You know, I think people that lives in cities that doesn't really get exposed to nature, doesn't really understand nature. You know, we as humans, you know, we are just getting bigger, and their space are getting smaller. And to expose this to the actual public, to let them know, but guys, look how beautiful this is. Look what we still have. Look what we can look after. Our kids is the generation that has to go forward with this. At the moment, Earth is suffering because of us. All the pollution in the oceans, everything else like that. And that to me is like, come on, let's all work together and see how we can survive. And without them, we cannot survive. And that is what I think, you know, people need to be exposed to that. And when they come out to the desert, they're all like, wow. Really? We thought we were just seeing sand, but no, we have life in the desert. And to show them that, they get a bit more of an appreciation of what is actually out there. Why do we do what we do?
I don't know, it's funny, isn't it? Because a lot of people I speak to, they say, but in the desert there's nothing, right? There's nothing out there. So, Dubai is just empty. I mean, what's your opinion of that, or what's your experience?
I like that, you know, they say it's empty. Oh, well, I like to make a joke. Gosh, well, today we're going to see sand, and more sand, so be prepared for that. Hey, we love all together. But as soon as you get out there, you need to put that 3D eyes of yours on. Start focusing on it. Look at that, there's a lizard, there's that, and they're like, there's a gazelle, there's an antelope, there's an oryx. So there's so many things that you can see, and they're like, really? We did not know that this exists even here. I mean, the nightlife is absolutely abundant. There's so many things to see at night.
Oh, really?
Scorpions, snakes, rabbits, foxes, the Arabian spotted owl. There's so much to see. You just have to put your eyes out there. Start focusing, look at the smaller things. If you see that small thing there, you're going to see the bigger picture. That's to me the most. That's to me the best part of it all. Is when they're like, really, look at that! Stop! Seeing a lizard sitting on a sand dune, but it's almost the same color as the sand. Get that? Then you have a good day.
Have you always been like this? Like when you were a kid, like when you were a teenager, were you always someone who kind of notices all these little details, or is it?
Yeah, my grandfather had a farm, so as a young kid I used to be on the farm most of the time. And fiddling around, picking up rocks and things and bark, you know, grab a small little pillowcase out of my grandmother's cupboard, and out I go, me, my brother and my cousin, and we will just explore. Seeing, but you know, when you're a kid, so you have some kitties and things like that, but that's nature. Come back with snakes, hardly knowing whether this is venomous or not, but it's just there. You have to be very careful. And since a kid, I was so interested in nature. So you grew up with it, and I love it. are there to see the beauty that Mother Nature gives us. And you have to respect them.
You can feel it. Your energy is really great and really respectful of nature, and it's like all of a sudden I've just completely forgotten the city and everything else. You know,
No.
it's thanks to you. You have a really
It's
wonderful.
the passion, you know, everybody that works here as well, has got the passion for what we're doing, especially when we go out in the desert, because this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's conservation, to preserve, to see what we have to offer. People will think there's nothing here, but I mean, you'll see.
Yeah.
As an Australian living in Italy, I've done a stopover at Dubai Airport every year for about 10 years and never ventured out to explore the city. I think as someone who seeks out contact with locals, I'd always been a bit unsure about a city where Emiratis are in the minority at less than 15% of the population. But I realised I didn't really know a lot about this region, like the fact that Dubai is made up of approximately 200 nationalities, and well over half the population is between 25 and 44 years old. Apparently, almost a third of UAE cabinet ministers are women, with the youngest minister a 25-year-old woman. Dubai also ranks as one of the safest cities in the world, with 96.1% of people feeling safe to walk on the street at night. Of course, like many societies today, politically they are not without problems. But as one of the fastest growing cities in the world, with 400 skyscrapers appearing in just the past 28 years, Dubai is quickly becoming an important global destination. But now I must leave Dubai and head north into Iran, and my first stop will be Shiraz, a city known for flowers, gardens, literature, and poetry. Next episode on Road Trip Middle East.
You've also lived overseas as well, no?
Yes,
Yeah.
Europe, a little bit, North America, Dubai, then Tehran, and finally Shiraz. And I think this is the last stop
Yeah.
because I don't find myself as happy in any other places I've been to.
Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will see you next Sunday for our next episode.